Your relationship with Bilbo is kind of the central one in the film, and it's the one that evolves the most, I suppose. And does that continue to be the case? I mean, is it going to remain sort of central to the whole trilogy?
Yes, I think in movie two, the relationship develops and is enhanced, and it becomes a very firm friendship. Which in movie three, that friendship becomes so tight and then is blown apart. And that's something which Tolkien very much looks at in the book. So we're kind of building to that point in the second film.
I'm very excited about two, because I mean, now we're up and running, not only as kind of a film, but also as the dwarves. Now we're into it. Now we're kind of on our adventure. Now the journey is really taking off. There's a lot to come. I mean, I can just think of so much that happens in two, which is very exciting. I mean, we introduce a lot of new characters. We have, there's a lot of danger lurking, a lot of extraordinary kind of, we've got the giant spiders, we've got the force of enchantment. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and then also I think we get to Lake Town, and Lake Town is an extraordinary set with extraordinary characters, and some very close to me, actually.
And now that you've kind of finished both, and you've got a little bit more perspective on The Hobbit, how do the two compare, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit?
Well, interestingly, on the Lord of the Rings, I was going through this sort of trajectory of developing performance capture as a technology, and that was a journey in itself, and so. And so there was playing the character and evolving the character and defining Gollum and Smeagol as characters, the character. But actually, so coming back again and having it was a sort of a parallel experience, because I was this time directing the second unit. So I had sort of this other sort of role as well as inhabiting the role of Gollum.
So looking back on the whole experience, what's been it's hard, what's your fondest memory of?
I think probably working in Bag End, the very first few weeks of shooting, walking in and seeing all of our characters, Bilbo, Gandalf and my group of dwarves that are going to go out on the quest. I think that was sort of a memorable time. We were in Bag End for about 3 weeks, so that's very special to me.
The build up to the release was so huge, and then of course, the journey of the release was so incredible. I mean, it brought it all back to us. We all got together again in New Zealand. We went to America and then London, and it's still very alive in my mind, and I miss New Zealand hugely, and I can't wait to go back, because it was a kind of a brotherhood. We were a community. We were, I suppose, what Tolkien talked about. We went on this journey together, and so I think we missed that. But it's been very interesting just on a daily basis seeing how much it lives now in kids' kind of minds. It's been fascinating.
Well, I think I'd have to probably put two up there. One was from the Two Towers, where Gollum, you really understand Gollum for the first time as this conflicted schizophrenic personality, and that was a great scene to shoot, and it kind of really defined him. And then in The Hobbit, I think the scene with Martin.
The riddle scene.
Yeah, the riddles. Yeah.
I mean, when the film came out, the 48 frames per second debate was a lot of what people were talking about. How aware were you of that sort of discussion, and what was your view on it when you saw it?
I'm very excited about it. I'm excited that Peter's pushing technology in that way, and I think that it. What I've learned from it is that it's a tool that actors have to understand as well as the filmmaker and the camera team. So I think there's a long way to go with the way that tool can be used.
Mm-hmm. And I think it works brilliantly, and particularly I think it works well for the interrelationship of the CG characters and the live action characters, like the trolls or Gollum or the Goblin King. I mean, it's that you just don't question that they exist in the same sort of time and space, and I think it is groundbreaking.
Do kids care about the 48? Do they even know the difference? I don't think they do, really, to tell you the truth. So I think there was a big hoopla about it, but I mean, ultimately, it didn't really impact on me, and I think ultimately on kids that are watching it,